707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101, or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to What's Cooking Today. I'm Paul Stern. That is Erik Hines. Michael Horn out on assignment. He'll be back with us on a featured edition of What's Cooking Today. Hey, joining us here, I would say certainly kind of a restaurateur legend.
Absolutely.
In her own right. We happen to have with us from Maria's Italian Kitchen, a Southern California institution, Madeline Alfano. And Madeline is here with a particular issue at hand. Normally, we would talk to Madeline about the great Italian food that she has at her restaurant, some of the best traditional Italian food, I think, to be found anywhere, by the way. But putting that aside, Madeline's involved with a topic, actually, that has been one that has kind of, I think, hit the restaurant community by storm. It's these roaming restaurants, these catering trucks, these mobile... They're now like mobile gourmet food facilities where they're going all over the county and the city, just setting up shop, and people are getting it online and they're getting food. Everybody seems to be pretty happy with it, but then at the same time, it's one of these new things that's, like, I guess at this point in time, somewhat unregulated. And it's kind of interesting because not only is Madeline, I guess, interested on kind of maybe some of the formalities behind this whole new industry, this booming industry, but, well, she's not so far removed from it to say that it isn't something that maybe interests, maybe something that might serve the purpose of Maria's Italian Kitchen at the same time. So with that in mind, let's welcome Madeline Alfano to the What's Cooking program. Madeline, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning. Is this Paul or Erik? I can't tell.
This is Paul.
Hey, Paul, nice to speak to you.
That is Erik.
Hey, Madeline.
Hi there.
Well, tell us a bit about this. I mean, what is the issue, and how did you kind of get involved with it to start?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, the reason I'm getting involved in it is I represent the California Restaurant Association as well. I'm president of the local California Restaurant Association chapter. And these are issues that are happening all up and down the state right now, but primarily in Los Angeles, where I call them chef's trucks because, or like you mentioned, gourmet food trucks. Some of the issues are that there are a couple of the trucks that are parking right in front of restaurants. In particular, it was that Wilshire Boulevard corridor, that mid-Wilshire, that created the whole, I would say, the whole issue with the like unfair competition. But what we're finding is actually a couple of the trucks have now joined the California Restaurant Association. We want to work in a collaborative manner. These are really, as you put it, they're restaurants on wheels. And they're offering, it's not the typical taco construction worker truck that comes, honks the horn, stays 15 minutes, sells you a fried sandwich. These are trucks that are not inexpensive by any stretch of the imagination. They have some unique food items, and they can be considered direct competition if they park in front of a restaurant of like quality or menu items.
Oh, yeah, especially if it's a really popular restaurant that tends to have a long wait or a line. I mean, these guys can pull up right in front and maybe swoop up some of the business.
Correct. And it's interesting, though, some of the, Abbott Kinney in Venice is one of the streets that you can go on. They have a First Fridays where all of the trucks are there.
This is an actual, location where on a designated street they do kind of a gathering of multiple trucks.
Correct. So those of your listeners that are not from Southern California, Abbott Kinney is a little stretch of a street, probably about, let's say, 6 or 8 blocks long in Venice, just north of Ocean, kind of east of Venice Boulevard. It's kind of a little triangle, if you would. And there are a lot of really fine restaurants, good restaurants there. But they've actually, I wouldn't say they've encouraged the First Fridays, but they haven't really complained as much. There was one restaurateur that complained directly to me because she has a little Mexican restaurant, and there was a taco truck parked right in front of her.
Oh, boy.
So
yeah.
That's direct competition. But what we're trying to do with the California Restaurant Association is work in a collaborative manner. We want the trucks to have the same requirements as restaurants do, so it's really much more fair competition. They pay their business city licenses, and if they go to multiple cities, for instance, like the grilled cheese truck, Michelle and I have become fast friends. She has licenses in all of the cities that she runs her truck to or drives her truck to. We also just met with the health department and the board of advisors, the supervisors, this Tuesday morning to discuss the grading of the trucks. So the health department is going to have they already have a separate unit for the what they call the taco trucks or the lunch trucks, but they're going to have a new unit or beef up that unit for these chef's trucks, and they will be visiting them on site. They're actually requesting that they have GPS systems.
Oh, interesting.
That they notify you of where you're going. And I'm like, okay, so here the health department guys are going to be twittering. I don't know.
This is really great development, though. Now, Madeline, I mean, for those that have not been to Southern California and dined, when you pull up to a restaurant, you'll probably notice in the front window of the restaurant a designation of either A or B, indicating the health inspector's results of doing a test of that restaurant. Now, currently, under the current laws in Los Angeles County, the trucks do not fall under that grading system.
No, they have not. They do have health standards. I don't want Terrence Powell, the head of the health department, to be.
No, sure.
They do have standards. They do get.
They do get inspected. Yeah.
They get inspected, but they've never had to comply with the really, really strict rules that the Los Angeles County, and Los Angeles County is huge.
Madeline, would you mind if I could ask to be so kind? Would you hang with us through the break and stay with us?
Sure, and then I'll tell you about my truck that I'm.
Oh, I wanted to find out about that. You know, at the same time, you're encouraging obviously proper guidelines and legislation and obviously a kind of an oversight. You certainly aren't one to say that you're against obviously the industry in itself. You want to.
Can't beat them, join them.
That's it. Yep.
Hey, we got a real restaurateur with us. If you can't beat them, join them. That's kind of the motto there. And we'll be joining Madeline Alfano over at Maria's Italian Kitchen when we return right here on What's Cooking Today here on CRN Digital Talk.
Support our troops and get rid of your old car. Do you have